In the industry. Do you want to advertise your product and services? Count on us. We will do it much more than your expectations. African Broadcasting Network (ABN) will deliver quick and prompt services. Our quality and clarity stands us out when it comes to delivering quality broadcasting. Our staffs are hardworking and versatile in the specific field of office. Our environment is so conducive and we are open to all. We also give advice on how to run your business profitably. African Broadcasting Network is situated at
10039 Bison Street, Suite 338, Houston, Texas 77036. Telephone 346-426-5650 or 832-490-8203.
Website www.abntvnetwork.com. ABN, celebrating Africans' rich cultural heritage.
Hey guys, my name is Shino Ayo Oyinlola, and I'm trying to let you know that ABN TV do live stream events. Do you have any event coming up? Do you want somebody to do that for you? Live stream your event either to your own portal or to ABN TV Direct. Call on us now. 346-426-5650. 346-426-5650. We'll be glad to help you out. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to our show. So good to know that you're there. This is ESHMAN and the program is Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN. Thank you for always being there. Thank you to those of you that sent comments and called on our program the last time. It's good to have you again. Let's discuss so many things for us to talk about. As you know, our program covers varieties of issues of life. And so the matters that we go through on a daily basis, those are the things that we love to talk about. The relationships, the jobs, the monetary, even politics, everything goes on here. And please sit, relax, and let's discuss. Tonight's topic is such a wonderful one, a thought-provoking topic. And I would like you to be a part of it. At the right time, we're going to be opening our phone number. We will give you our phone number and open up the phone so you could call in. The topic tonight is, how long can couples actually stay separately or in different areas? How long? And when we say how long this time around, we're talking about couples that have no problems, couples that are married couples in this area. How long really should they stay apart? Sometimes the cost of life and living, we live in different areas. Pursuit of happiness, pursuit of money, pursuit of comfort, and every other thing that could better the condition of the family could make a man and a wife to live in separate areas, albeit for some time. But we have found out that in the modern world, things are getting a bit more complicated. And so you see couples living in separate areas, not for weeks, not for months, but for years. And when we say years now, sometimes long years. Now, during these long years, somebody is staying alone or somebody is staying with the children, but the married couples themselves are not staying together. And so the question is, how long do you think is healthy for a couple to stay in different places, different cities, and many times different countries? Could it be 1 year, 2 years, 3, 4, or more? Now, in the US here, I have met someone that has been away from her husband for 8 years. That's probably long. And I'm sure there are some that are actually longer than that. So what's your recommendation? Now, there are some problems that come across when things like this come up. I'm not discussing this tonight. I have a guest I will be introducing to you very shortly. But then, there are some problems that come up with such a situation where people are living separately in different regions, in different areas. It could come up, so many things could come up. I do not want to bring out everything. It's you to discuss, and myself and those of us here tonight, we're going to be discussing it. But I want you to know that this is a real problem in a modern day society. Whether you like it or not, we have to pursue happiness. We have to pursue finance, and sometimes the pursuit of all these things will take us in separate ways. Now, if couples are just going to be separated for a week or two, that's highly understandable. But when they have to go over many years, wow, do you still consider that to be a great marriage? When couples are spending 10 years away from themselves, how do you define that? What's your recommendation? Should they continue with that? Should they abandon the things they are pursuing and get back together? All these questions, I would like you to join me as we answer them tonight. Now, if you search these courts across the globe, it's not just here or where you're living. Almost everywhere in the world, somehow we have some things that we are pursuing. And when we are pursuing, we pursue from different areas. Oh, the wife goes to the east, the husband goes to the west. In many cases, the children are actually left in between. A lot of things. Sometimes there are good results to this. Many times there are bad results to this. I wouldn't know what you think. I wouldn't know what your recommendation is. But this problem doesn't look like it has come to stop. Rather, the problem has come to stay. It's worrisome. It's disturbing to hear and to know that your partner, that you're still legally married together. You're meant to live together happily forever after. For some reasons, you are no longer together, not because of any quarrel or anything, but just because of the pursuit of happiness and life. While I was growing up, in those days, I used to wonder about the sailors. And they told us the sailors would be in the ships sometimes 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, or thereabout. But those were just matters of months, and they would come back home. But in this case, we are looking at years. And permits me to now begin to dichotomize, as it were. How does a man live without his wife for years? And how does a woman cope without her husband for years? What do you think? What are you advising? How can we stop this? Or there is no need to stop it? Is it a good thing when people that have been married will live for many years, live separately for many years? Finally, before I go to my guest tonight, it's even more, how do I put it? It's even more disturbing when couples have only lived together for 1 year, and the company that the husband is working for says, you got to come over to France. And the wife is left behind, maybe in America or in Africa. She has a very good job too. She can't just walk away from her job. She can't walk away from, she's the one overseeing things there. And for some reasons, they may not see themselves for many years. Not just that. Academics could take people apart. Not just that. The immigration, as a matter of fact, will make people to go separately for so many years. What is your recommendation? What do you think? To discuss this program with me tonight, I have a very beautiful lady right beside me. She is a relationship expert, and we are going to be discussing this together. Just like I said, very soon we're going to be opening our phone line, and you will have the opportunity to discuss. Now, the discussion in ESHMAN's program is actually to talk to people, talk to families, help people understand themselves better. Now, when you don't discuss, when you don't give your opinions, somehow you're rubbing off or you're denying other people from getting what they should be getting. So I do ask you to call in at the right time. Let's hear your opinion. Now, much as you don't like to think about it, there are many people that are in this situation. And so your advice tonight, my advice tonight, could actually save someone at the right time. Our phone number, 346-426-5650. Note the phone number. That's what we're going to be using every time that we come on this program. Tonight, can we meet my honorable guest? Her name is Hehi. Miss Hehi, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Hehi Adeboye. You look very lovely, and I like the smile on your face too. Good to have you around.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate being on your program today.
All right, that's very good. Now, let's go straight into the point tonight.
Okay.
Miss Hehi, this really is a very disturbing situation, and we cannot ignore the fact that it's living with us now.
Yeah.
All right. I was meant to understand, except if there are quarrels, if there are reasons for families to go separately. I mean, people divorce, and we're not going to that tonight. But when marriages are healthy, and for some reasons, the man and the wife have to live in different areas for many years. Yeah. What do you think about that, Ms. Ehi?
Well, before now, you would have cases where husbands and wife would stay together, they move together, a husband has to relocate, he moves with his wife, and wife has to move a job, the husband finds a way of moving to the same environment so that they can be together. Now, however, I don't know, with the changing times, we don't have such situations anymore. You find situations where the husband has to go to a job, probably those in the military, for example. You don't expect the wife to move with him. So
that's a good point.
Yeah, so he's going to go because he might go to war. He can go with the family. So the family has to stay back. The wife has to be there. And the truth is, you might not know how long he's going to be out for. It could be 6 months. It could be 1 year. It could be 2 years. And then you find the woman staying and on her own taking care of the kids, and then the husband is busy at war. The same thing, it could be in any other job. Engineering, IT. There are just different aspects of life where you see the husband has to move out or the wife has to move out. Now, the problem now is how to keep the family going. That's where the problem lies. I tell people, thank God for communication.
Okay.
Communication is key. Because when they are able to keep up with the communication, they are able to sustain it. If not, you find situations where the husband starts to drift apart, the wife has to starts to drift apart. The husband
because they're human beings.
They're humans. You see, before now, you might see the husband and the wife, they're best friends, they talk together, interact together, discuss every issue together. The best time is when they're in the room, in their bed, they're relaxing for the night. That's when they talk. But when they're no more in the same environment.
Ms. A, the first question I would ask you tonight, and the viewers, I want you to please listen. I will really, really be looking forward to your contribution. Ms. A, I will ask you straight and direct. With due apologies to everybody involved, is it worth it? Is it really worth it to do that to a family?
It depends on what the family, it's a decision between the man and the wife and what they hope to achieve. There are two sides to this thing. You can see it from one side being unhealthy. Because it brings about division, it brings about a gap between the husband and the wife. Now, however, if they are able to sustain communication, if they're able to see vision as to the reason why they're taking that step, they might be able to.
You're almost sounding, Ms. Hay, to me. You're almost sounding to me like communication is the main thing in the marriage. I know communication,
I'm not saying communication is
good, but this communication should be from afar for years, Ms. Hay.
I'm saying in order to, when they find themselves in a situation where they have to live apart for one reason or the other,
they should make sure they communicate.
They should make sure they
1 year,
1 year,
2 years.
There should be a time.
3 years.
I wake up in the morning, you're the first person I'm talking to. I tell you my itinerary for the day. I have to do this and that. It keeps us moving.
Okay, let me ask the men. Men in the house, look at, she said the right thing. As far as she's concerned as a woman, that, wake up in the morning and talk about the day, where you're going, what you've achieved. As a man, is that enough for you? She's away, somewhere far, far away for many years. Is that enough for you? Very soon we're going to be opening the phone. But then, Ms. A, another thing, what do you think are the problems that are likely to arise in a situation like this? And I want you to be square and sincere. Or the people watching you tonight, they just want to hear the truth.
Everybody starts to drift apart. That is one problem that comes up. And then it starts to affect the children. They are unable to sustain. If they have kids in the picture, yes, it starts to affect the kids. The father figure, is missing at some point, or the mother figure is missing at the point, or where you find a mother trying to play the role of both the father and the mother, or the father trying to play the role of the mother. There you start to see some lapses. There you start to see that they are unable to keep up with the responsibilities of bringing up this child in the way, he should go. Yes. So those are some of, the problems that begin to arise as a result of this separation.
There is a question that I can hear my viewers asking sincerely. Again, we're going straight and hitting the nail on the head. Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN would always talk about the truth. Does this make infidelity to be more in the society?
More,
increase in cases of infidelity. Does it add to it?
Sincerely, it does. Because, you find situations where, some men are unable to stay without.
What about the women?
And also the women. It's
exactly.
I
need you to always balance it.
I'm not being biased here. I just
ladies and gentlemen, you are continuing. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a problem we have with the women. They are always quick to say the man is likely to fall first.
No,
all right, surrender.
I didn't finish my statement here. You cut me short. So you have it where yes. The man tends to drift apart, the woman tends to drift apart. They tend to see other women. It might just start as friendship.
Okay.
And then before you know anything, it jumps into one thing or the other. And it's same for the woman. Where the man, where she's not getting as much attention as she should get. Before you know anything, you start to see somebody that gives her all of that attention. And then at some point, she might just fall into something. It's not planned, though. Most of them, they are not planned. They just find themselves,
Last question before we open the phone number. Again, Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN. We say the truth and we hit it hard. Now, Ms. Hay,
yes.
Is there any sacrifice too much to pay for family?
There is no sacrifice too much to pay. Yes. And that was why I said at the beginning, where families have to go separate for a particular period of time. It has to be with a vision, they have something they hope to achieve. And they all have to see it in the same light.
Same view, same line.
View, yes.
I like that.
That's what brings about the sacrifice. I'm sacrificing this period of time in order to achieve this.
Yeah.
It could be education, it could be for a job, it could be for a
Yeah.
career or anything. So yes, it is a sacrifice.
Yeah.
It's just that at some point in time, some things might suffer, but you hope
So
to make up at some
you
point.
would say, just like many people would say, no sacrifice is big enough to pay for the family, right?
No.
Okay, now, I hope I'm not saying catcher. Look at the military, for instance. They are defending us, fighting. And to the military listening to me, thank you for your service. And we do hope that you continue to stay strong for us. Yeah. Now, the military, for instance, they are at the forefront defending nations. Mm-hmm. And you said no sacrifice is too much for family. Do you recommend they abandon their duty posts and go back home to their family?
No, definitely
You cannot
not.
eat your cake and have it, Miss Ehi. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be opening the phone line right now, and we need you to contribute. 346-426-5650. That's the number to call. All right. Tonight we're discussing the issue of staying separately on a good note between husbands and wives. And we said sincerely, is it really worth it? Is it that we could have or we can do without it? And when we get to that level, do we continue or do we stop? And I asked Miss Ehi directly that, is there any sacrifice too much to pay for family to stay together? She said no. How about the military men? Should they abandon their duty posts and make that sacrifice to stay with their wives or their husbands, as it were? Let's discuss to everyone out there. 346-426-5650. All right, we will be waiting on you to call in and share with us your opinion about this. Miss Ehi, one of the things that you mentioned in passing, and this truly bleeds my heart, the children. Yeah. How does this affect them? Some of these children, Miss Ehi, are left as early as maybe 3 years, 5 years, and they may never be able to come together until years after. And I know that some people listening to me right now are in the same situation. We feel you, and we hope that there's a solution. So the children, what do you think? What happens?
First, like I said, a mother has a separate role to play in a child's life, and so does the father. Now, the mother cares, the mother is the one that she will definitely tend to the child, feed the child, bring, training, follow up, and all of that. Now, however, the father plays a different role. At
So when
times,
they
you
are
see
not
the
together,
father as the disciplinarian, you see the father as the one providing, you see the father as, different, a whole different role. Now, one party, either the father or the mother, cannot play the role of the other.
That's true.
So now that's where you now find a
Are we
problem.
saying that the children suffer more in situations like this?
I would say the children suffer more. And then you see where, the mother is trying to cover, the father is trying to cover up, and the other spouse is trying to fulfill his duties from afar.
Oh.
Now, that is very difficult. At times, you're unable to do it, or at times, there's a disconnect between the child and that parent, because the parent is seen as not being there at all.
Everybody loves to be in the hands of their loved ones. Everybody wants a situation where they can see their partners face to face. We're not talking about days, weeks, months. Sometimes we're talking about years here. Now, the man and the woman, they're both very important. But Ms. Hey, one suffers more than the other. Is it the man that feels the impact of separation more, or the woman? Who feels it more?
Now, where in a situation where you have the mother with the kids, the husband would feel the
loneliness.
One, the loneliness. Two, he's going to be missing on vital, growth process of the child. I want to go, if he has like a meal, he wants to go for baseball, soccer, with the kid, he wants to take him out, all of that. He wants to be able to come back home to hear what happened in school. He wants to be able to attend such programs, that they have in school when they say, oh, daddy's day out, mommy's, daddy's,
Look.
all of those areas.
Uh-huh.
He misses out. All he hears is videos, all he gets is pictures.
Okay.
And then he keeps on wishing he was there. Yeah, so he the husbands tend to miss out a whole lot.
So
yes.
how do they occupy themselves so that the missing will not be as bad as it should be? The phone number again, 346-426-5650. The line is now open. Let's discuss. So what do they occupy themselves with, so that we do not have a case where loneliness is a deadly thing. One of these days, we're going to be treating loneliness on its own. So so that they are not too lonely, because Misa here talked about communication. Communication can only go so far when you're only doing it on the phone or through social media. The reality is that what are the things that parents that are living apart, what can they do to occupy, to fill in the gap, so that the loneliness is not too bad? Misa, what do you think they can do? What are some of the things they can be involved in?
Like, see, you cannot overemphasize on communication. You're gonna say that, oh yeah, this lady talks too much about communication. Yes, when you're not close by, what's the best means in getting across to them? It's same communication. I need a phone. I need to be able to make video calls. I need to be able to, thank God for WhatsApp, thank God for different forms of communication right now. I can afford to be present to watch whatever that's going on in school. You have a meeting. Okay, I need you making records. I need you to, make a video. I need to be there. I need to meet with your teacher. Okay, I want to be there. I can talk over the phone. I can discuss over the phone. Oh, you have an event. Okay, I can't be there personally, but yes, I will be there. Thank God for communication. I tell people, thank God for communication, because that's the best means of interacting and being there and not being there.
Okay. But do you recommend that at that point, let's be real, no man wants to stay alone. Maybe no woman wants to stay alone.
Definitely.
Do you recommend that, okay, for those years, somebody else can move in? When I say somebody else in this case, I'm talking about maybe relatives, maybe your friends. No man wants to just be alone. Otherwise, he could run mad trying to talk to the wall. I mean, most people listening to me that have ever been in the situation of loneliness, you know what you went through. You know how much you were almost talking to your own shoes. Now, in this case, for years, so do you recommend that other people will move in at least to occupy that moment?
When you say moving, you have to you have to be you have to
Listen, you know what I mean by moving.
You have to define moving.
Okay.
If you're saying, oh, friends, I got male friends, we're staying together, we're sharing the room, yes, if you have female friends, yes. But when you start saying, okay, of the opposite sex, one, you're going to be confusing the kids, because they're going to be wondering, oh, who is this coming to stay in the house, and the person is not a family member.
Okay.
However, a family member, yes. A brother, a sister, a relative, yes. It makes a lot of sense to have them around you, so you have somebody to interact with every once in a while, share things with, at least come home to meet somebody. Loneliness is a very bad thing. From loneliness, a lot of people fall into depression and they want to do a lot of crazy stuff.
Yes.
But yes, it is very encouraged to have somebody around you. But the question is, who are you talking about?
Okay.
Because when you start to say just anybody, that's where the clause of infidelity starts to come in.
Okay.
You understand? So yeah,
okay.
It has to be defined. So you don't run into trouble, or you don't put yourself in trouble that you don't want to be in.
Okay. Ms. Ahi, I am going to ask you this question directly. And I'm also asking those of you listening to me and watching me from home directly. How long can a man stay? Now, removing sickness, problems of, you know what I mean by other problems. An active man, a man that is fully active. How long can he truly stay for years without without sexual feelings? How long do you think he can stay? We're going to be answering that question when we come back from break, and I want you to ponder on it. This is Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN.
and number one in authentic African cuisine has made us not to stop dishing out the best to our customers. Check out some of our delicacies in African food today. We also cater for both indoor and outdoor parties. Finger Licking Restaurant 2.0. Check our all-day coffee tea spots out. Open on Sunday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday to Thursday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Friday and Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. We deliver with Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Drop Off. Finger Licking 2.0. 98178 Business Street, Houston, Texas 77036. Telephone 713-270-7070. Come for an authentic African cuisine. Oh yeah, suya on the spot. We value our customers. That's why we make suya for them on the spot. DD turkey wings suya, beef suya, skewers of kidney suya, chicken thigh suya, spicy kuli, grilled fish, 100% halal, real Hausa suya. Order now 832-916-0724 or at www.suyaonthespot.com. Instagram handle at suyaonthespot. There is suya and there is suya. Check us out today. Spicy and not spicy. Suya on the spot. Ukojabe. BSA Procurement and Logistics Services. Ship to USA from Niger or ship from Niger to USA. And also to Canada. Individual, small business, corporate establishments, and African stores and restaurants. Ship anything at all. USA office 12455 Westpac Drive, Suite H15, Houston, Texas 77082. Telephone 832-614-8984 or 281-741-4829. Email info@bsaprologservice.com or www.bsaprologservice.com. BSA Procurement and Logistics Services. You are the reason we exist.
Welcome back, gentlemen and ladies. This is Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN. And tonight we'll be looking at the topic of family members staying separately for good cause, for good reasons. Not because there are problems at home, but because the pursuit of life and liveliness and goodies of life sometimes will make people to go on different notes. And Ms. Hey, a relationship expert, has been discussing with me tonight. And we've agreed that, well, these things happen, though communication should be kept alive, and communication is very key. But on this second chapter, we are getting deeper into some matters of the heart, really, when people are staying separately. Feel free to call in at any time. The phone number again, 346-426-5650, and join us in the discussion. We've agreed that truly people live separately for different reasons, and they live in different countries sometimes where they cannot easily just see themselves. And so the next question that we were going to ask shortly before we went on break, and I was going to ask Ms. Hehi to break it down for us. Ms. Hehi, what is your recommendation? Couples that are active, couples that are not sick, no sickness anywhere. All right. How often do you think they meet together as man and wife? How often do you think it should be on a normal time? Okay,
being straightforward. You're talking about sexual activities.
Well, right? The children have gone to bed.
Yes, so we can. Say about 3 times, 4 times in a week. Depends on
a week.
It depends on how active they are. You find some people like that. You find them too. Some of them. So you have a lot of people which hire.
I'm hearing some women shouting, "No, that's too much. You want to kill me?"
You have some people with higher, sexual origin, and some with lesser.
Okay.
So you find two, and on the max, say about
I fully
four.
agree
That's
with
why I said
you.
on the average, 3 times.
Okay.
In.
That's nice and that's cool and that's very candid. And so in a month, that would have been like 3 times 4.
That's 12.
12 times in a month and 12 times 12. That should have been like 144 times in a year. Now these are people that have been apart from themselves for 5 years. 5 years times 144. I've lost the calculation. Can anybody help me? Can anybody help me? So, what do you think? For 5 years, some people have been missing out.
It's a very hard nut to chew for people to stay apart for 720. They should have had sex for 720 times on the average in 5 years, and then they have to stay apart for that 5 years without having nothing. It's difficult. Some people are able to control it. Some cannot. Some cannot do past 1 month. Some can't do past 6 months. Some can't do past 1 year.
Wow. Both
male and female. It's a difficult thing.
So you're talking about someone that has a carryover of 720.
Yeah. It's a lot. Now, however, every human being is unique. So they're the ones, every unique human being can decide how long he or she can go. It's not encouraged, truly.
Yes.
It is not encouraged. However, when you find yourself in such situations, only that person knows how long he can afford to stay. However, some people go the extra mile of getting aids in order to help them move on.
Okay.
And sustain them for that long a period of time.
By AIDS, what do you mean by AIDS?
We are all adults here, so we know the kind of AIDS people will use, you mean toys and all of that. This is the 21st century here.
All right.
That is what we see right now.
Okay.
The 21st century where, people tend to go, find some form of help.
What's the difference between, if you can go and get the aid and buy the aid, if another human being is willing and offering you that aid, why can't you go for that human being? Must it be the toy? I'm just asking.
Well, some people would say it's safer that way.
Okay.
Some people would say I don't get to complicate my life.
And emotions are not
wasted. And then I don't want any drama coming in as a result of going to look for a
This is really beautiful.
Yes.
This is really beautiful.
A lot of people would say you want to go that route and say, look, I want my sanity. I still want my family intact. It's just that I can't hold these urges that are coming, and I just look for this means in order to relieve myself for just a temporary, period of time. So, but some people, they don't care.
My next question is actually about the hardest question tonight. Maybe 2 more, but this is really hard. And I want you to attempt it. I know the people listening to us tonight, I want you to think about these things. These things happen. There are families, there are homes that are going through this. There have been couples that haven't seen themselves in years, just for good cause, not because they're separated or divorced. It's just because both parties are following or pursuing life from different angles. This truly happens a lot in life and living. Now, here's my hard question for Ms. Rehi, who is a relationship expert. We've talked about these things, and all that we have said, personally for me, I don't think any of them is enjoyable, where you have to only communicate on the phone and just be away from one another for years and things like that. Ms. Hey, I'm going to look straight to you in the eyes and ask, should such marriages continue? I thought it was hard.
Yes, they should, if they can sustain it. Yes. Because, presently we have a lot of, separations. We have a lot of blended families. We have a lot of things going on in the family circle. And, when you just encourage a straightforward separation or divorce just because of distance, it's like giving up on the family. But if they are able to sustain and they have a timeline on, it could be 2 years, it could be, it's school, it could be just for 6 months, it could be we are able to make out a routine where I'm coming and you're going and we're meeting every 3-4 days or once a week, or we're doing summer together. They're able to sustain it that way. You understand? Not, for a very long period of time, but every family is unique, so they are able to decide if this is still working, or not. That's why I said a lot of people, they drift apart. So when
if it's not working for them, what do you advise?
If it's not working for them, if they have tried every means possible in order to make it work, then people would say, if it's not working, you go your separate ways. But if you're able to work it out, yes, stay together and keep the family. The family is a very strong community in our society. It drives a lot of things. So when you see both the husband and the wife being together, it also has a very, very strong impact on the new generation of children which are coming here.
I'm going to divide my viewers now. Who has a tendency to hold on more, the man or the woman? When I say hold on, who has a tendency to how do I put this now? Means, hey, help me. I'm trying not to be too, expressive, and at the same time, I need everybody to understand what I'm trying to say. Who has the power not to mess up more between the man or the woman? Answer me. Sincerely.
Not being biased.
The
woman.
That's what they will always say. That's what they would always say.
The woman has the tendencies of holding to herself.
Okay.
The woman, you see, where she has a lot of things going on for her.
Yes.
She has the kids to go, to take care of. She has the home to put together. She has a job. She's trying to keep.
If her mind is sold out to her husband, her mind is sold out.
Yes.
Right?
So she's not thinking of any other thing.
All right.
Now, however, I'm so sorry, but the man might not have his plate actually so full.
All
and
right.
then he's lonely and he's all by himself. So at some point,
I just got to miss him. Catcher. Should the man be forgiven when he messes up? Answer yes or no. Should he be assumed that he didn't have a choice? Should he be forgiven?
Yes, look, a woman is.
You finally have to answer that. Don't go back. Don't go back to the woman. Go straight to the man. Should the man be forgiven? You yourself said that the man is likely to fall faster, which makes it almost normal. So should he be forgiven?
Almost normal, but not encouraged.
I understand. All these are just nomenclature. I truly understand it's not encouraged. But you have said that, the man is weaker in this regard than the woman. Yeah. So when he falls, when he messes up, when he goes into where he shouldn't go, should he be readily forgiven? Explain.
If he is willing to change and not fall back into such a temptation again. Because
remember you recommended 3 times in a week.
It's on the average. Yes. But you might find it and you might not find it. You might find people that don't even do it in 2 weeks.
Okay, I fully understand.
Yeah, but saying you might want to forgive, you might want to, be lenient the first time if you're able to work it out and all of that. But when it becomes a continuous thing, you do it the first time.
So why can't the woman come back home?
That's why I said I talked about a vision. They have something they are deciding to do. If they have a vision and they say this is what we want to do, they go ahead, they pursue. Now, however, if that vision is not affecting them as a family unit, they are the ones that are still going to sit down and discuss and said, look, this vision might not work with us because it's going to affect us on the negative side, which already is happening. So what's the next step we have to take? You come back or we go separate ways because it's not working from afar. So they have to make that decision. Can this still work out this way, or should we just go our separate ways? Or would you just come back home, let's be together and let's work things out here and just manage what we have? Yeah.
Now, well, I thank you, Ms. A, for what you've said. As we begin to round up tonight, the world or the society has actually assumed that truly the man will fall faster in such a situation because they have been gapped for so many years. And that's the truth. I believe that. In some instances, the woman will make just a mistake, just one time, only one time. And I expect that she should be forgiven only one time. But that one time turned to pregnancy. And she needed to tell the man, what should the man do?
When you said just one time for the woman, I don't know why, but the society tends to encourage the men more than the women, because once it happens, her head is almost cut off for doing such
She has a certificate for it. she has something to show for what she has done. The man could mess up and dust his body, but the woman has something to show.
Yes.
So if the woman is calling her husband, and sincerely there's love, sincerely, no doubt, there's love. It was just a mistake. Maybe she drank too much at the party, and the man knows that, look, my wife is not like this. It's sincerely a mistake. And this mistake has led to pregnancy. And she's calling her husband out of love to say, a mistake was made, honey. Now I am pregnant. As a man, what will you do? Will you forgive her? Don't forget, it's just one time mistake. Will you forgive her?
On a scale of 10, 1 to 10.
Yes.
9 will not forgive.
You just said we should forgive the man.
Yes.
So why can't we forgive the woman?
In the nature of a man, it's a hard pill to chew. To say, oh, my wife. It's different if, it happened once and there is no certificate in your words.
In this case, there's certificate to show.
When there is a certificate to show, the man is going to find it very hard to continue to see that certificate staring and still growing on a daily basis.
He loves his wife, no doubt.
That's why I said on a scale of 1 to 10, 9 will walk away.
Wow.
Only 1 will stay. Because the man in his ego, in his pride, how is he going to explain to the world? And then where you now have that certificate has somebody that issued it. And that person that issued it is just around the corner staring. So, it's a very dicey situation. And most men are going to say, you know what? I can't deal with this. I can't deal. I love you very much. I love my kids. We're going to come to an agreement. But, with this, we have a situation here. So,
I believe, Mr. Hian, to just listening to me, we are going to, that particular discussion on whether to forgive her is going to be a topic that we're going to be discussing on another day. Because the reality is that human beings will always be human beings. I believe that there are people that love themselves so very much so, willing to forgive about anything. When a man wanders about, it's easy for the woman to forgive. Easy for the society to forgive. But when a woman makes the mistake and pregnancy now gets involved. Now don't forget that they've been apart for many years. Don't forget that she has sincerely been faithful. Don't forget that it was just one time of attending a party and there was too much wine and one thing led to the other. Now pregnancy is showing. I personally don't think it's the right thing to throw the woman out just because of that one-time mistake. Don't forget, Ms. Hehi, the man would have made that same mistake several times over. Maybe 720 times over.
Yes.
Now, this woman is making the same mistake only one time, except that now there is a certificate. How many of you men out there will forgive? How many of you women out there can truly tell us, well, it was a mistake. I ready to face the man. As we round up tonight, Ms. Ehi, what's your advice when people are coming up with the fact that, oh, I need to go get a job in another country or in another area? What do you advise the family to do in this regard?
The first advice would be, is it possible for both parties to move together? Yes, that would be the first advice, for them to do. Try to see if both spouses can find a job in the same environment, so we don't have...
That's the first advice, yes, and I really like that.
First advice. Now, however, where we find out that it's almost impossible, then there has to be an arrangement where, there is no much space between them, where it's either I'm coming or you're going.
I think we have a call tonight. Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN. We lost the call, actually.
Yes, so, where there's no much of gap between, where they actually get to see themselves physically and all. Yes, so that, the infidelity doesn't come up, the kids are not missing out on any of the spouse that isn't close by. At least within that period, they're able to fill in, and then, they are now looking forward to when he's going to be back or when she's going to be back a second time. Somehow they're able to strike a balance at that point in time. But if they know that this can't work, then don't even try it at all.
Don't even try it. Okay.
Because you see, so some women are going to say, look, I cannot stay without my husband. I can't function. Some men are going to say, I cannot stay without my woman by my side. I can't go to bed alone. I can't sleep on an empty bed. I can't come back. I can't cook for myself. I can't function without my woman beside me. So where you have such a situation, is that you're going together or you're staying back where you are, so that your family unit is still in one piece.
Wow. The topic tonight has been a very wonderful one. I think we have a call just as we are running up. All right. This is Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN. Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN. Hello, are you there? We lost our call. All right. Somebody has been trying to call. People actually have been trying to call, and I do hope that we did not get our network wrong. That to be fixed immediately. Quite a number of calls I've seen, but for some reasons we keep losing the calls. All right. But the topic tonight has been a very effective one, and I do not want us to take it lightly. Though we laughed at the matter, but there are family members going through these where they have to be at separate side. It is true that we are apart sometimes, but love has no limit. Love could be shown and shared from anywhere in the world. The nature of your job, the nature of your school, the nature of your medical requirements sometimes, or other things, the nature of stability could make you to stay away from your partner. Please, your body may be away. Do not let your hearts be away. The true love does not live in the body. The true love lives in the heart. Wherever you are, make sure, like Ms. Hayes said, keep communication alive. Never, ever hide anything from one another. Make sure that you communicate as often as possible. Be very transparent. And on the rare case where things could happen, be very ready to forgive one another. Because the life that we live in, it's not one straight way. There are many roads, there are many branches that we take in the course of life itself. Nothing is worth losing a family for. If the job is so important, please, by all means, pursue your job and let your family be happy. But then I need you to weigh the cost. Are you losing your family because of that job? All right. Do everything to make your own family better, because the more established you are, the happier your family would be. Sometimes these things are beyond us as human beings. Sometimes these things are things that we cannot control or we do not have control over. They're just there. They just come to us, and we do not have a choice but to embrace it. Please, whatever comes your way, do not lose your heart. Heart is where your love is. Find a way, my friend. Pick your phone as often as possible and get in touch with your partner. There are many other things that you can do just to stay together. One of them is not to break the relationship because of distance. Distance on its own is very stressful, but do not break your relationship because of distance. Use the distance for your advantage. Above all, and finally, do not forget, distance is just for a while. Eventually, you're going to be coming back together again. Miss Hay, it's been so nice having you here tonight, and I've actually enjoyed myself. I do apologize on the phone, quite a number of calls, but for some reasons, it rings once and it goes off again. I guess we have issues with the network, which we're going to be fixing. We do hope to see you again at some other time.
I hope to be here again.
You've been very impactful.
Thank you very much.
Gentlemen and ladies in the house, and this is where we're going to be calling it a night for tonight. Do not forget the program continues tomorrow. We're always here on Tuesdays, on Wednesdays, and on Thursdays. All right. And too many things that we're going to be discussing with. Ensure that you stay with us. The time is 9 p.m. and it ends by 10 p.m. every day. Don't forget Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursday. There are many topics that would have to do with life and living that we should and we need to talk about. I do promise you we're going to work on the network, and by tomorrow you should be able to call in. This is Sharing Life Matters with ESHMAN, and this is hoping that the next time we have an opportunity to talk together, you will be able to tell me your good news, and I'll be able to tell you my good news. Until then, ESHMAN is my humble name, and I'll see you at the other side of the divide. Good night, everybody, and have a good
Discover the uniqueness in the entertainment industry. African Broadcasting Network, ABN, is now the pace setter in the industry. Do you want to advertise your product and services? Count on us. We will do it much more than your expectations. African Broadcasting Network, ABN, will deliver quick and prompt services. Our quality and clarity stands us out when it comes to delivering quality broadcasting. Our staffs are hardworking and versatile in the specific field of office. Our environment is so conducive, and we are open to all. We also give advice on how to run your business profitably. African Broadcasting Network is situated at
10039 Bisonet Street, Suite 338, Houston, Texas 77036. Telephone 346-426-5650 or 832-490-8203.
Website www.abntvnetwork.com. ABN, celebrating Africans' rich cultural heritage.